Morning, everyone. Afternoon, whatever. We're just going through a couple of house cleaning things. Make sure if you introduce yourself, I'm sure most of you have. If you have any questions, please put them in chat. If you do not have a first and last name, please rename yourself. If not, I will DM you just to ask that for attendance purposes. And if you need the closed captioning, just toggle on the bottom. You can turn that off. And if you have any questions, again, just put them in chat. I'll just let Janeé get started. All yours.
And just to piggyback off that, from what Amanda said, when I award prizes for Check It Out for the prize book bags, I need to know your first and last name and what library you're from. So, because if it just says Computer One, I don't know who that is. So please put your first and last name in the chat and what library you're from, because we do draw for 5 prize bags at the end. That would be wonderfully helpful. Okay, I am going to share my screen. Let's see. Hopefully, I've got this down to a pat. Okay. Amanda, are you seeing just slides?
We're good.
Okay, I'm just seeing slides. Perfect. And I am going to pull up chat just so that way I can see everybody's comments as well while I'm uh, talking here. And Carolyn says, "Woohoo! I got prizes last month." I'm so glad you liked your book prize pack. So welcome to Check It Out for November, and we've got a full deck ahead of you. So here we go. Our table of contents. What are we covering today? I have 2 story time standouts. For those of you that are new to Check It Out, first of all, welcome. If you don't know what story time standouts are, simply put, these are books, the best books to use for story times. So I have 2 toddler appropriate books for story time standouts today. We'll also cover some second and third grade chapter book recommendations, some early readers, picture books and board books, children and teen nonfiction. We have some middle grade fiction, teen fiction, graphic novels, and I have a manga to tell you about that is out of this world. And I'll also share what I'm reading, upcoming events, and Check It Out prize book winners. And for those of you that don't know me, I'd just like to say hello to you and welcome if you're new. My name is Janeé Jackson-Doering. I'm the Youth Services Consultant with the State Library of Iowa. There is my contact information. You can reach me by email or by phone. Please reach out. I would love to visit your library. A lot of people that have seen me, they know that when I come visit libraries, I bring a goodie bag of books for you to keep. So please reach out. I'd love to visit you. And I just wanted to post something that brings me joy. So this month, the thing that is bringing me joy is Wicked. I am so excited to see this movie. I've seen the musical in Chicago. I've read the book years ago. I am so stoked to see this tomorrow. So if you get a chance, hopefully you get to go see it and maybe we can talk about it. Christy is saying Wicked was amazing. Yes, I am. Yes, the book is awful. If you have not read Wicked, it is very dark. Just a heads up. But the musical's amazing, and I can't wait to see the movie tomorrow. So that is something that brings me joy, and I hope you find something that brings you joy this month as well. Uh-oh. She's got spoilers. Christy's saying all the reveals in part 2 are of the movie. Oh my gosh, minor spoiler. Thank you. Hey, I love a spoiler. I do. I'm probably the rare person that loves a spoiler. So thank you. I appreciate the spoiler. So we're going to move to story time standouts. Again, simply put, the best books to use for story times because it's hard. You're digging through your picture book bins or your picture book collection, trying to find stories for story time. We got you covered. So here we go. So this month, I found these 2 adorable board books, perfect for toddlers. If you need short animal stories for an animal story time, for toddler story time, and what I define as toddler is ages 18 to 36 months. So if you need short animal stories for a toddler story time, the books in Peter Horacek's Peek Through book series Little Bunny and Little Chick fit the bill. These are both written in rhyme and they're gorgeously illustrated books. They have Little Bunny and Little Chick, meaning different animals, before finally reuniting with their moms. In Little Bunny, the top book, the text starts with Little Bunny in the woods. What can you see? The bunny meets birds. They meet a red brown bear and a big red fox that might be scary to the bunny. The bunny scurries to the owl where there's a cutout hole and readers see the mommy bunny and they're reunited. Little Chick is about a chick that is lost at the barn and they see a happy pig, a furry cat, a great big cow, and a tiny mouse. If you see at the bottom picture, it says, I see a happy pig looking at me. Little chick on the farm. What else can you see? The baby chick at the end is also reunited with the mommy hen at the end. This book in particular, Little Chick, this lends itself perfectly to making animal sounds so that way kids learn what a cow sounds, what's the pig sound, and having the kids repeat those sounds. These are both very colorful, beautifully illustrated, perfect and short and simple for toddler story time. We are going to move to second and third grade chapter books. Here we go. For this month, I have two new series to feature to you today for second and third graders. The first series is called Stella and Marigold. This is book one, and it's written by Annie Barrows and illustrated by Sophie Blackall. This received star reviews in School Library Journal, Publishers Weekly, Kirkus, and Booklist. It centers around two sisters, Stella, who's 7, and Marigold, age 4. When Marigold was a baby, Stella holds her very close, and as the big sister that she is, she promises to tell her all the secret things she knows as a big sister. Fast forward to Stella as 7 and Marigold as 4. These kids have such wild imaginations. They go to the zoo, they go to school and they have different types of things that happen to them. They share childhood misadventures, they get in trouble together. When Stella gets sick, mom gives her the sick blanket, and Marigold, she goes at the table to eat eggs because she knows eggs make her sick. So she purposely eats eggs to go climb into bed with her sister to comfort her. Um, this just has sweet childhood misadventures. They use their imaginations and they stick up for each other and they learn to bond as sisters. This kind of reminded me similar to Ramona and Beezus a little bit, just with their how they bond and the situations that they get in. Each chapter is a different story in the lives of the sisters. Super cute, beautifully warm illustrations, excuse me. Definitely check out Stella and Marigold. Our next book is also a new series. I can't speak today, pardon me, guys. This is called Stinky's Stories, The Boy Who Cried Underpants. I know, say that real fast. This is written by JJ and Chris Grabenstein. You might recognize that name, Chris Grabenstein, because he is also the author of the Mr. Lemoncello series. This is a new series he started with his wife. This is about Mrs. Emerson. The librarian, she just read to the class The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the Aesop fable. But the they don't want the story to end. They're like, that's it? What about the sheep? What about the boy? So enter Stinky. Stinky is the stuffed toy skunk that sits on the shelves in Mrs. Emerson's room. Stinky hears the story and he talks to the kids and tells the kids that we're going to keep the story going and he's going to tell them what happened next. According to Stinky, the boy who cried wolf found a new word to shout in town, your pants. The word is heard so much in the town, according to Stinky, that the queen gets involved in Skunk's story and chaos ensues. So if you have second graders, they can get ready for silliness in this book. There's Doomfer, it's like a type of mush and it's filled with like muck and boogers. So get ready for some little bit of toilet humor, some gross humor, and some black and white illustrations. Kids will adore this. There's short chapters in this book and large text that make this perfect for that second grade crowd. So if you have some zany kids that like just silly humor, this is going to fit the bill. Okay, we are going to move to early readers. And here we go. So I just have one early reader for you today, and this is called Chip Plays Grown Up. This is written and illustrated by Maddie Frost. It's an I can read comic, so it's in the style of a comic book, level 2 reader. This is a funny and cute story. It's about Chip the penguin. Chip doesn't want to go to bed. At least his mother is saying to him, Chip, go to bed, but he doesn't want to go. Instead, Chip says, how about you be the kid and go to bed, and I'll be the grown up and watch TV? So mom says, okay, all right, fine, I'll do it. But mom has some needs. She needs to be tucked in. She also needs her favorite toy. She also needs a story to be read to her. And for Chip, she leaves Chip after doing all of that. She leaves Chip with mommy's to-do list, which includes washing dishes, following up on emails, laundry, etc. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Um, so Chip puts mommy to bed, reads her story, gives her favorite toy, gets her tucked in, and then he goes to do all the tasks that mommy has to do. And he's realizing that, being a grown up isn't really fun after all. I'd rather just be a kid. This is an engaging story, simple sentences, big text. The speech bubbles are there. And it also has in the front of the book how to read a comic book and how to follow the panels. Super fun, super engaging, very cute story for your early readers. All right, we are going to move to picture books and board book roundup. Here we go. Okay, so I saw this book and I had to add this to the list. Um, this is Santa's First Christmas. This is written by Mac Barnett and illustrated by Sydney Smith. It received starred reviews in School Library Journal, Publishers Weekly, Kirkus, and the Horn Book. We all know about Santa. We know what Santa does. Santa delivers presents on Christmas Eve. But the elves want to know, does Santa celebrate Christmas? How does Santa celebrate? Santa Santa just basically comes home and goes to sleep. That's all. That's what he does right after Christmas. He comes home and goes to sleep. Well, Santa's loyal elves at the North Pole, they want to make sure Santa experiences the same Christmas cheer that he provides for other kids. So what do? The elves get him a tree, they make cookies, although Santa dips his finger into the frosting and they told him to leave. Um, and even Santa gets a visit from Santa the polar bear. This is a cozy and fun Christmas take for kids. I can see this as another Christmas classic. The picture down below is Santa reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and I love this part where he's reading about how he laughs, and he says, "I really do laugh like that," and then he does the ho ho ho. Super cute. Another Christmas classic. This is perfect for Christmas Eve reading or Christmas Day reading. Our next book is called Princess Truly Builds a Snowman. This is written by Kelly Greenawalt and illustrated by Amaya Rosher. You might recognize Princess Truly from the Princess Truly Beginning Reader series. This is an 8x8 picture book. It's a paperback picture book, but this is a rhyming book, and Princess Truly wakes up to find snow on the ground. She says, I wake up my brother, Ty. We want to go and play. First, we must bundle up. It's a very cold day today. Together with their dog Noodles, the kids show readers how to build a snowman. So if you see at that bottom spread, they're rolling up the snow to make a snowman. The snowman has a hat and a scarf because they want him to stay warm. And they don't forget the carrot nose. Princess Truly uses the sparkles in her curly brown hair to bring the snowman to life. And together, Princess Truly, Ty, and the snowman go sledding. They play ice hockey. But when it's time to go home, the snowman starts to feel sad because the snowman doesn't have anyone to play with. But with the magic of Princess Truly, she makes a snow dog for the snowman to play with. The illustrations are cute. The simple text on each spread, so there's 2 sentences on a spread. It's a nice addition to bedtime, so if this could be a nice bedtime story, and it could be a short story time edition as well. I love it. June is saying our Santa's first Christmas book was delivered today. That's awesome. So, speaking of holidays, our next book is called I Spy Love, a book of picture riddles. This is photographed by Walter Wick, excuse me, and the riddles are written by Dan and Dave Marzolo. This would be perfect if you have a look and find picture book bin or an I Spy section in your picture book collection. This is a beloved series, and it's back with a new set of photographs with items that kiddos have to find, especially for Valentine's Day. So in this spread here that I put on here, it says, I spy a peacock, 2 swans in love, 4 arrows, 4 bunnies, a button, a dove, a BFF bracelet, a strawberry, a train, a clock, and a message of love from a plane. So kids will have no problems finding the items in this spread and throughout the pictures in this book. This is another one of my favorites this month. This is called Pig Town Party. This is written and illustrated by Leanne Cho. And it's about this young girl who has the same name as another pig in town, and she gets invited to a party. So she gets all dolled up, dressed up. She goes throughout the pig town and she attends this pig party. And inside, everybody is dressed up. It must be a costume party. So she's attending. But there's another girl there that has the same name as her that was the invitation was supposed to be for her. And she's like, hey, what are you doing here? And they all chase her out. And she takes the cake. There's a cake. And she takes it home and she wants to eat this cake. Only when she goes to eat the cake, it's not real cake. It's a cake full of mud. So that's what the pigs were chasing her for. Super fun, super cute, very engaging story. Fun, just this fun, silly story for kids. So check out Pig Town Party. Our next book is a counting book. This is called Animal Countdown, written and illustrated by Laura Acaro Seeger. And I will get the ISBN on there. Sorry, guys, I will make sure I'll get that on there. This received star reviews and shelf awareness and Publishers Weekly. And this book, young readers can count backwards from 10 all the way to 1. And they count with endangered animals on every page. So on this spread, a snippet is cut out on each page to give kids a clue as to what the animal is. So you lift the die cut, the shape, you lift it up, and then the kids can see what animal it is. So this one has 10 sea otters. And some of the animals, thank you, Tracy. And some of the animals include sea otters, pandas, and elephants, just to name a few. In the back of the book, there's also information about the endangered animals featured in the book. Next book is called My Hair is a Book. This is written by Maisha Oso and illustrated by London Ladd. This received a starred review in School Library Journal. And this is a gorgeous, beautifully illustrated story about the nature of Black hair and whether girls have curly hair, coarse hair, straight hair, or kinky hair. It's a reminder to Black girls that Black hair is beautiful. Um, but the bottom spread to your left, it says, my hair is a book. Watch me grow. It it parts and you can take a look. So she's starting to part her hair and put grease and all the items in her hair. This reminded me of when I was a kid doing this as a kid. But I love this other spread. It says, my hair is an atlas. It contains maps for freedom. Rows of corn guide me to escape the locks of chains. This is just a beautiful, beautiful art. This is a beautiful piece of art right here. But just seeing how African Americans would braid maps into their hair and they would use that to find their way to freedom as slaves. I mean, it's just, to me, that was just like beautiful, just beautifully illustrated. Um, so you have images like this, but then it also shows images of powerful women, Black women who have succeeded, like Kamala Harris or Venus and Serena Williams, with all different types of hair. So definitely grab My Hair is a Book. I did add a couple of board books. To your left, the first one is You're My Hungry Little Caterpillar. It's from the world of Eric Carle. You can't go wrong with Eric Carle books. Um, this is a great introduction for toddlers who are trying new foods and seeing what kinds of different foods there are. Each spread has one sentence with bright illustrations. The narrator says, "You're my favorite caterpillar." And kiddos can see as the caterpillar nibbles on carrots, celery, and they can hear the word crunch, crunch, crunch. It nibbles through sweet oranges and bananas. And then a black cat crawls to a glass of milk and a mouse points towards chocolate chip cookies. So together they get to try new foods, some just once. And there's a green lizard with a lemon on the page. And it ends with, "You're my hungry little caterpillar, and I love you." So this would be a nice short introduction to new foods, seeing different types of foods. The book to your right is called Yeah, Baby, which I thought is super cute. Um, and I loved it because babies and moms can cheer and see photos of other babies reaching their first milestones. So, such as walking, eating, crawling, talking, sharing with a friend. Each spread has two sentences and they end with the phrase, "Yay, baby," or "Yeah, baby." It's a sweet board book to cuddle up with young babies. Um, Good for caregivers as well because it encourages babies to point to the pages and to turn the pages. And of course, babies will also chew the pages. Okay, we are going to move to children and teen nonfiction. But this month, I have to admit, there was a lot of teen nonfiction that I saw this month. This book in particular, How to Be a Manga Artist, would be perfect for tween or teen nonfiction collections. This is written by Balthazar Pagani and Asuka Ozumi. If you have tweens or teens that love to read mangas, if they love to draw manga characters, you should pick up this book for your collection. There are 6 chapters that talk about the history of manga, what to do if you are starting to get into the field of writing mangas, how to get started, character development, story development, and icons in the manga field. And the book is presented as a manga. So this would be great if you have aspiring artists or if you have manga fans, if you have a manga club or an anime club, get this on your shelf so that way they can check it out. This book is super cool and I really like it because it's very unique and It would be a great tie-in for this year's summer reading theme, Level Up at Your Library, because it's all about play and games and puzzles. This is called Side Quest, a visual history of role-playing games. And this is perfect for your teen graphic novel nonfiction section if you have one. This is written by Samuel Satine and Steens. This received a starred review in School Library Journal. And in it, the authors cover the history of role-playing games, or RRPG. Um, and it talks about the beginnings of role-playing games, which were in Asia. It talks about the growth through Europe and America to America, how these games formed. And it talks about Dungeons and Dragons and the role of live action role-playing games. I know there's lots of fandoms. There's lots of fandoms with Dungeons and Dragons and all these different types of role-playing games. So this could be a wonderfully unique addition to your collection. All right, we are going to move to middle grade. Here we go. Okay, this book This book is so cute. I had to add this to my list. This is called Bye Forever, I guess. This is written by Jody Meadows. It received Publishers Weekly's Best Middle Grade Book of 2024 list, and it received starred reviews in Publishers Weekly and in Book List. This is a middle grade rom-com, and it's about Ingrid. She's 13 years old. She's an eighth grader. She lives with her grandmother, but Ingrid lives for playing her online fantasy role-playing game with her online friend, Lauren, who she has not met yet. And she lives for her secret blog. Her secret blog is called Bye Forever, I guess, where she posts text conversations she's carried out with people who text the wrong phone number to her. It's kind of an interesting premise. Um, Her friend Rachel is a jerk. She is annoying. She found out about Ingrid's new blog, her secret blog, and so Ingrid told her, you can't tell anybody who's running this blog. You can't do it. So Rachel says, okay, fine, I will totally keep your secret. But Rachel treats her like a charity case. And the reason Rachel treats her this way is because Ingrid's parents are deceased and Ingrid lives with her grandmother. So Rachel has taken upon herself to, yes, I have to tend to her. She's my good friend because, her parents died. So, yeah, so I'm just being the really good friend and just sticking up for her. I mean, just she puts on this fake persona and it's totally horrible. And she embarrasses her by telling this to two new students that just came to her school. So Ingrid is no longer friends with her. And so she's finally sticking up to her. But Ingrid receives a wrong number text message from another gamer from her online game named Traveler. And the crazy thing is, it's a boy at her school. And she's wondering who this boy is because he sent a sweet text message to her. This book is hilarious. It accurately portrays the messiness of middle school friendships with drama and first loves. Even just the text messages that she gets from people who are trying to text other people, but they accidentally text her. The text messages are funny, and you're like, oh my gosh. Uh, Super cute. There's a sweet romance at the end of it. This is what a middle grade novel should be. It hits that sweet spot of not being too long, not being too short, but just right, where it captures that middle grade first love. So pick up Bye Forever, I guess. Okay, our next book is Black Girl Power, 15 Stories Celebrating Black Girlhood. This is edited by Leah Johnson, and this received a starred review in School Library Journal. This is a short story collection, but it features 15 middle grade stories, and it also includes poems that celebrate everything that is Black girlhood. Some of the authors include E.B. Zaboy, Sharon Renee Watson, who wrote the beautiful poem Be Black Girl Be, which is beautiful, and Sharon Draper, just to name a few. There are all kinds of stories in this book. I love the poems because that's just me. I love poetry. Uh, so definitely pick up Black Girl Power. Okay, we are going to move to teen fiction. Here we go. Okay, this first book is called Influencer. It's written by Adam Caesar, excuse me. But I just have to stop real quick. Look at this cover. I love this cover. I love the colors. I just love this color or cover, excuse me. When I first saw this book, I was like, interesting. So I was intrigued. And then when I read more and when I read that Adam Caesar was involved, I was like, sign me up. I'm in. That name should ring a bell because he wrote Clown in a Cornfield, the Clown in the Cornfield series for teens, which is being adapted into a movie, by the way. So FYI. Um, Influencer, this new book, received starred reviews in School Library Journal and Publishers Weekly. This is a suspenseful, convincing thriller. It's about Crystal. She's a teen and she hangs out with a group of friends, and her friends are smitten by this social media persona named only as the speaker. And the speaker has all these kind of cryptic poems and videos, and they're all trying to decipher what he's really trying to say, what he's really trying to mean. And Crystal's like, this is a phony, this is a fake. But she doesn't want to say that. She doesn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So they're at school, and here comes this cute boy. This boy is dressed to the nines. He has an Acura. I don't know what parent buys you an Acura, but okay. He has a brand new Acura, and he just moved into town in New York. They go to East Bay High. And so he joins them for lunch, and he's saying, oh, yeah, I'm from California, and telling about himself. And Crystal's got her senses up, and she's like, there's something not right about you. And so she's looking at him as he's speaking. She says, you're the speaker. And she blows his cover. And he's like, no, no, I'm not the speaker. And then he realizes, okay, I can't hide this. And so he tells them not to tell anybody about him being the speaker. But what Crystal and the group doesn't know is that this charismatic new kid may be, in fact, a dangerous killer. The speaker is an online mass streamer, and one by one, Crystal's friends are falling under his influence. This is a suspenseful novel. It explores the dark side of secrets, how social media can go wrong, and how social influence can go wrong. It starts out very strong. There's a murder at the beginning of the book, and you're like, whoa. And then it slowly builds, and then it just takes off. Uh, this is also based on a podcast. There's a podcast called Influencer, and so it's based off of that podcast. And this book is told through Crystal and Aaron's points of view. So if you want something a little bit suspenseful and creepy, grab Influencer. Our next book is called Afterlife, written by Gail Foreman. This will be released January 7th of next year. And this is about a girl named Amber. Amber arrives home on her bike. Everything's fine, just a normal day after school. But when Amber's mom sees her walk through the door, she screams. Why is she screaming? Because Amber died 7 years ago. She was hit by a car while on the very same bicycle that she's riding now. Um, and the return affects Amber's family. It's affected her sister, Melissa, who's now 7 years older. Um, Her parents are estranged and they're both fighting over Amber. And the changes ripple farther and farther apart. I mean, even Amber's friends and boyfriend, they can't even understand it. So it's they're just struggling with how is she alive? And Amber is wondering what kind of person she was and why is she given this second chance at life. So this book deals with life and death themes. It's examining the impact a person can have on the world, and basically it celebrates life. So definitely pick up Afterlife. All right, we are going to move to graphic novels and manga. My first title for you this month is called Fresh Start. This is a middle grade novel written and illustrated by Gail Galligan. This is also going to be released January 7th of next year. But this is about Ollie. Ollie is part Thai, and she has her sister Kat, and their parents are always moving. The kids are always, they're used to moving from place to place. Their dad is a diplomat, so that's why they've moved so much. They lived in Singapore, Korea, France, and Germany. And when Ollie moves to a new school, wherever she goes, she doesn't worry about making a first impression because she thinks she'll just get a fresh start, a reset somewhere else. So she doesn't really get close to friends. She feels like just because she moves away so much, she just pushes them away because she doesn't want them to get attached. But Ollie and the family have discovered that they're going to be moving from Germany to Virginia. And so Ollie is ready to just not make a first impression. But when she does get to her new school in Virginia, her new middle school, she has a bad first day. It just didn't work out. And Ollie is shocked to learn that her parents are going to buy a house so that way Ollie and Kat can finish middle grade school in one place. So this book explores themes of being yourself, building and keeping relationships and friendships, social media and how it damages relationships, and family expectations. So pick up Fresh Start. Next book is The Firelight Apprentice. This is middle grade. This is written and illustrated by Bree Paulson. And this is a fantasy and steampunk graphic novel. This is about Ada. Ada is responsible for her younger sister, Safi. And Safi has developed magical powers. And she is really good with her magical powers, but she needs to learn to control them. The town that they live in is recovering from a bloody war. And the town is rippled with electric magic. And Ada has agreed to let Safi become an apprentice and go on an apprenticeship with a pair of magicians, Caliban and Sergio, who work for the king. These apprentices, their goal is to help harness her magic and help her keep it under control. However, Ada's really fearful because she's been writing letters to her sister and she fears that her letters are not being received. And she's fearing for her sister's safety because she's hearing from the townsfolk that there's a sinister force looming in the town. Also, Caliban, Sappy's apprentice, is really charming as a magician, but he's really a leech, a powerful magician who can transform himself into an undead creature. And he does this to achieve immortality. And he wants Sappy's power. The illustrations are warm, they're sparkling, a lot of earthy tones, and there's a beautiful theater inside when they go to see the magicians. Uh, just the reds, the tones of reds are really beautiful. So if you have fans who love fantasy, if you have fans that love that world building, definitely grab the Firelight Apprentice for them. The next book I have is called The Ribbon Skirt. This is by Cameron Mukwa, and this received a starred review in School Library Journal. This indigenous novel is about Anang. Anang is a two-spirit. He is a non-binary indigenous 10-year-old who knows exactly what they are. And Anang feels like it's the world around them that struggles to understand who they are. Anang dreams of wearing a ribbon skirt, which is a traditional garment for Indigenous women, and it's worn at the upcoming powwow. And despite others insisting on seeing them as a boy, Anang embraces their identity with unwavering support from his grandparents or from their grandparents, excuse me, they embarked on this journey to gather materials to create their own ribbon skirt. Excuse me, they think it's a simple task. They think, okay, Anand's like, okay, I can do this. I can get all of these items for the ribbon skirt. Um, they realize that this is going to take a lot of work. And so Anang is guided by animal spirits to help Anang get items for the skirt. Um, Plus, Anang faces rejection from a former best friend, but Anang keeps going, and Anang finally gets the items for the ribbon skirt. Uh, and all the adults are very supportive, and all of them are indigenous. Anang feels different, but by the end of the book, they realize they are far from being alone. Um, so it's a very heartfelt graphic novel. It deals with acceptance, belonging, friendship, and hope. The back matter of the book includes insights on ribbon skirts, the history of powwows, powwow etiquette for Indigenous and non-Indigenous attendees, and a recipe in the back of the book as well. All right, I have two series alerts because I had to make sure this was on my list. To your left, Wings of Fire, Escaping Peril. It's a teen graphic novel, book 8 in the series by Tweed T. Sutherland. That is coming out on December 24th. In this installment, Peril has been loyal to Queen Scarlet, who's used her fatal fire scales to kill countless dragons in the Skywing Arena. Now, Peril is loyal to Clay, the only dragonet who has ever been her friend. And Scarlet threatens Jade Mountain Academy. Excuse me. So Peril sets off to find her former queen, stop her, and save the day, no matter what it takes. There's just one problem. A strangely persistent sea-wing turtle insists on coming along too. So you'll definitely have to grab Wings of Fire Book 8 because I know this is very popular with teens and kids. Definitely get this on your shelves. To your right, we have Who the F Wants to Know. If you have not picked up the Who the F series, please do. The first two books were so good. It's written and illustrated by Huda Fahmy. And in this installment of the Huda series, Huda is getting ready for her junior year, and Huda's got a plan. She wants to join all the clubs, she wants to volunteer, ace her ACTs, and write essays for her scholarship applications. But Mama and Baba announced the most unthinkable news. They're getting a divorce, and Huda and her family are devastated. And so she's wondering what this will mean for her family and their place in the Muslim community. So you definitely please grab these two books, Wings of Fire, Book 8, Escape in Peril, and Who the F Wants to Know. My mangas pick this month, this I just stumbled upon because I was on School Library Journal's website and I saw this and I'm like, let me see what this is about. This is called Thunder 3, Volume 1. It's a teen manga. It's translated by Kat Anderson and illustrated by Yuki Ikeda. This received a starred review in School Library Journal, and I have to admit, when I started reading this, I had no clue where this manga was going to go. But then at the end, I really enjoyed it. This is about Pyantaro. Pyantaro has a sweet but sometimes annoying little sister named Futaba. She is adorable, she's cute, and she's like, I love my big brother. And you could just see the speech bubbles. They're like large speech bubbles when she's talking. And she's like, I want to marry my big brother. I love him so much. Um, she's the typical annoying little sister. She comes into the bathroom when he's trying to go to the bathroom. She's always taking his clothes and running around with them. So she's just the typical sweet but annoying little sister. One day, Hyuntaro and his buddies, Hiroshi and Tsubabi, they're called the Small Three, they decide to watch a disc that their teacher lent them. Little do these guys know, that this disc is linked to another universe. And while the guys aren't looking, Futaba gets sucked into this realm. Piantaro realizes his sister has been pulled into this universe because he can't find her. And when he sees her on the TV screen, he and his buddies, they enter this new world where people coexist with aliens. And I wanted to show these two pictures because the art is so cool. It's like a mix of sci-fi, fantasy, and a little bit of like horror, a little bit, not too much, but it's mostly on the sci-fi fantasy elements where they feel like they're walking into like a TV screen, but it's just so visually cool. Um, but with these aliens, they keep asking, "What are they doing here?" And they're asking the townfolk, "What are they doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, they're just hanging out. They're peaceful. They're not doing anything wrong." However, the aliens see Futaba and they kidnap her. So they've got Futaba on her or on their ship. Um, but these guys are starting to find out that these aliens who seem nice to other people, they're not really what they seem. I thought this expertly blended humor, science fiction, and fantasy elements well. It is definitely for your older teens, so think your ninth through 12th grades. Uh, I wanted to make sure you had the other volumes on your realm. Volume 2 is released January 7th, and Volume 3 is released March 4th. I've got these two other books on hold at the library here in town because I can't wait to see what's going to happen next in Thunder 3. Okay, so now to what I'm reading. So in my realm these days, I have Mismatched, a modern graphic retelling of Emma. This is a teen graphic novel that's written by Anne Camlin and illustrated by Isadora Zeffirino. This is an LGBTQ retelling of the story. Evan is 17. He's an Instagram influencer, and he's got a not so secret flair for matchmaking. And he sets his sights on the new shy girl, Natalia, at his high school. But Evan takes things a bit too far with some unforeseen consequences, and he's got to learn to put the people closest to him ahead of his misguided ambition. So this is perfect for capturing that social drama, the social teen angst in high school. So if you want, definitely grab Mismatched. This one I have is called Onyx and Beyond. This is a middle grade novel and it's written by Amber McBride and it's told as a novel in verse. This received starred reviews in School Library Journal and it's set during the time of the civil rights movement of the 1960s. This book is about Onyx. He is a young Black man in America. He was living with his grandmother, and his mother and him were living with his grandmother, but his grandmother has passed. And so his mother is slowly starting to show signs of early onset dementia. So this young man is taking care of his mother. He's cooking for her. He's caring for all of her needs and trying to make sure social services isn't being called, but he wants to become an astronaut, and he has a dream of becoming an astronaut. So definitely grab Onyx and Beyond. This book at the end, I am going to start digging into this week because it's you know how you get your piles of books on the shelf. My TBR, this was on my TBR, and this has received count them, six starred reviews. This is called Compound Fracture. This is a teen novel. It's written by Andrew Joseph White. It's an LGBTQ plus novel, and it's about 16-year-old Miles Abernathy. He is autistic, and they just came out to their family as transgender. Uh, so, and his family they're socialists, and they've been feuding with Twist Creek's governing powers ever since the former sheriff killed Miles's great great grandfather, who led a labor strike a century ago. Miles found proof of the current sheriff their involvement in this fatal accident that injured Miles's father and disrupted local efforts to have Davies removed from power. Miles and Cooper's Miles's friend, they're violently attacked by the sheriff's son and the gang, uh, or excuse me, and his gang. Following the assault, Miles gets haunted by this strangely familiar figure. They're wearing a red bandana and they end up embroiled in a simmering tensions, just this deadly kind of clash that's going to change the town of Twist Creek. This received 6-star reviews in School Library Journal, Kirkus, Publishers Weekly, Book List, Shelf Awareness, and the Bulletin. And Grace is saying compound fracture was really good. Great rural representation. Yes. Important to note that the dog does not die. Thank you. I'm always sad when I see a dog die. So yes, thank you. I'm glad you told me that. So definitely pick up compound fracture. So just some quick things to know. Um, our summer library program webpage is up. So if you go to that link, the State Library of Iowa.gov, the link is there. If you cannot find the summer library program webpage, on the State Library of Iowa, there's a search box. Just type in the search box Summer Library Program, and you'll be able to see the calendar of all of our events that are coming up. So check out that link, or if you can't find the link, just go to statelibraryofiowa.gov, type in the search box Summer Library Program. We're posting all of the links to all of our programs and events there for summer. If you haven't seen the Summer Reading Jumpstart, the virtual training that we had last week, that is now up on there. It's also up on YouTube as well on the State Library's page. Just make sure you watch it and then go into Workday Learning for credit. The Canva templates for summer reading will be available mid-February. So we are working on those right now. So I want to make sure everybody sees that. Canva templates for summer reading will be available mid-February. We will also post those on the Summer Library Program webpage. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that the staff at iRead are going to have a 2025 showcase. It's Monday, December 9th from 12 to 1 p.m. on Zoom. It is hosted by iRead staff, not the State Library, but the iRead staff. And they will share ideas for decorations, programming ideas, and more. Their webinar is open to all states, so anyone from all different states can watch it, and it will be recorded if you miss it. If you do go to that webinar, let us know. Fill out a form on Workday Learning so that way you can get CE credit. And there's the website. If you're interested to learn more, definitely read the info there, and you can get registered on their site as well. Another thing to point out, I will have summer reading office hours. I had them last year, and I really wanted to offer them again this year. Well, as you're planning your summer reading programs and thinking about ideas, definitely come to any of these sessions. They're an hour long. They're not for CE credit, but it's just a good way to bounce ideas off of each other, maybe get program ideas, share and network performer contact info. But the first one will be on December 10th from 1 to 2 p.m. The second one will be January 13th, 10 to 11 a.m. And then the final one will be February 10th from 1 to 2. The Zoom registration links are on the State Library Summer Program webpage. Summer Library Program webpage. So take a peek. Also, December 11th, we will have Pop YS Live, Supercharged Storytimes, Cohort Reflections. This is the first time we've had the Supercharged Storytime cohort for the state, and all 15 members will be sharing their thoughts about the 6-week training and what they gained from it and how they are helping their libraries. This will be Wednesday, December 11th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. I hope you can join us and register on Workday Learning. Also, don't forget, we have a giveaway time. So, five winners this month, not four, five winners this month will receive a Check It Out book prize pack from me. And all prize packs will be sent via Iowa Shares. And congratulations to Carolyn May from Huxley, Carrie Davis from Hawkeye Public Library, Kathy Bain from Fairfax Public Library, and Jesse Morris from Seymour Public Library. Congratulations. So make sure you have your first and last name and what library you're from in the chat so we can draw for winners. And next month, I wanted to do another Best Books of 2024 edition since like everybody is doing the best books. Last year we did this and it seemed to go very well. So I'm going to offer it again this year. It's Check It Out Best Books of 2024 edition. It's going to be Tuesday, December 17th. So that's a week above the week before Christmas, from 11 a.m. to noon. You can share your favorite books from 2024 in the chat. You can discover books you might have missed and register on Workday Learning. And that is all I have. Oh my gosh, with 4 minutes to spare. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow. And oh my goodness, everyone's saying, Emily's saying, thank you so much for all the great titles. Absolutely. You know how to reach out to me. Please email or call. And yeah, that's all I've got. Oh, Christy says, enjoy Wicked. Use the bathroom first and limit your beverages. Oh, you know what? I will definitely do that. Hopefully, you guys have a lovely Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your families, and hopefully, you get some really good food. Oh my goodness, Missy says, I love these because you always have titles I've not seen yet, but are I always leave with so many to look up. Yeah, I can't tell you, like my home is stacked with books. There's books I have to get through, and yes, I feel your pain, Missy. So I totally get it. So, any other comments, Amanda, or anything?
Didn't see anything come through. A couple of them went, but you addressed them, so it looks like everything was good. And we will get everyone marked off for attendance as soon as possible on Workday. And again, Janeé, awesome, great info, many books, so many things to go Google and look up right now for myself as well. So fun.
Emily's asking, is the iRead event the central time? You know what? I will double check and email you, Emily. I will double check that info for you. So, and yes, thank you. Have a great holiday too, Missy. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful holiday. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have some yummy turkey for me and some yummy treats. So,
All right. Well, that's everything. I think we'll end it all. And thanks again, everyone, for coming.
bye everyone.